Hello, Garry families. Welcome to this week's episode of the Garry 5, where we bring our Garry home into your home. This week, we wanted to touch on kind of a heavy topic because February is National Teen Dating Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, and we like to focus on things like that here so that we can help prepare our students for their big, beautiful future. So we're going to hear from Dr. Watson about some of the things that we've been doing around Garry, and then I'll kind of bring in that parent aspect. Dr. Watson.
Well, thanks, Devony. You know, families, I know we're only in middle school here, and especially for our families who have a sixth grader here, seems kind of odd to be talking about this topic. But you all remember when you were kids, middle school is where boyfriends, girlfriends, it all starts up. And of course, our eighth graders are very soon moving off into high school with the whole world of dating and formal dating in cars becomes a reality. So even at this level, it's important to us that we talk with our students about boundaries and about respect when it comes to having boyfriend-girlfriend type relationships. You need to know that last week we had advisory sessions about teen dating violence. And we had one session for 6th and 7th graders that was a little softer, shall I say. And the 8th graders, because they're almost in high school, theirs was a little more advanced and a little more serious when their topic and differentiated for them. Well, one of the things that we did is that we have some statistics here that you can get off of the Create Your Statement website. And it's just some statistics that are pretty alarming about what is going on in the teen dating world, way different than when we were teens. So I want to share some of these, a couple of statistics, and Devony is also going to share some information with you too. 40% of teenage girls know someone their age that has been hit or beaten by their boyfriend. And we shared these statistics with our entire student body at the same time, and making sure that they are aware of the violence that is primarily against girls. Sometimes boys are victims of that violence, but definitely the statistics will show it's more so with girls. 1 in 3 teen dating relationships experience physical aggression, including hitting, punching, kicking, and slapping. And that's alarming. That 1 in 3 already seeing hitting and punching. Young women ages 16 to 24 experience the highest rates of relationship violence. 80% of all girls who have been physically abused in their relationship continue to date their abuser. That was a big topic that we were sharing with kids about how difficult it can be to get away from an abusive relationship. And of course, we were sharing strategies with our students. Half of the reported date rapes occur among teenagers. Half of them. And finally, 57% of teens know someone who has been physically, sexually, or verbally abusive in a dating relationship. So the teenagers know, and the teenagers are talking, but as Devony's going to share, unfortunately, they're not always talking with adults, and we're encouraging them to do that. Go ahead, Devony.
Yeah, as parents, I think that sometimes these heavy topics are hard to talk about, and we see that the majority of parents, 54% of them, admit that they have not spoken to their child about dating violence, and 81% of the parents surveyed either believe dating violence is not an issue, or they admit that they didn't know that it was as much of an issue in our teen relationships, which we learned isn't the case. 83% of 10th graders surveyed say that they would rather talk or confide in a friend with help regarding dating abuse rather than a counselor, parent, teacher, or the law. And then violent relationships in adolescence can carry over to their adult relationships, resulting in a higher risk of substance abuse, eating disorders, risky sexual behavior, and suicide. And 86% of female high school students say that they would confide in a friend if they were in a controlling relationship, while only 7% say that they would talk to the police. So I think if we start having these conversations with our students, opening it up to conversations in our schools, they'll start seeking advice from people who can help and give good advice. So it kind of starts at home with us parents. I know I haven't talked a lot about this with my own students, so we're going to be sitting down having these conversations because it's important that they understand that these things can happen and know how to address them if they do happen, because all of us know somebody who's been in an abusive relationship, and so our children are going to be the same. They're either going to be in an abusive relationship or see it, and the more we teach them early, the more that they can know the signs and know how to healthily and safely navigate that. So thank you for joining us this week for the Garry 5, and catch us again next week. Bye guys.
Bye everybody.